Hello everybody, welcome to the second video of Saturday. This one is going to be about some of the best deals that I personally think. Obviously do bear in mind, it's subject to your own interest with Marvel Contest of Champions of what deals you like and you don't like. These are just ones that I've kind of picked out and cherry picked, which I put a link to in the description, and we're going to be going over. So I'll begin with Paragon, Thronebreaker and Cavalier. If you're Thronebreaker and Cavalier, it's like Christmas has come early. These deals are really good. Like, they're really good as a coverage point. They're on screen right now. You've got options that can elevate your account. You've got options for a low amount of unit spend to maximize take home, and you're seeing the bonuses of depreciation in the reward structure. Very early on in the 750 unit spend, you've got these two good deals here. I don't recommend this one, which is the 7-star shards and 100 primordial dust. Like, if you want those things, go at it. If you want to ascend a champion and you need 100 dust, go for it. There's not 100 dust more until you go back. I think you go back over the the system again. So you could pick up another 100 if you want. But that low amount, essentially for 750 units, you're paying for the dust as opposed to paying for the 7-star shards, because guess what? 1,000 7-star shards is not really worth it unless you're about to form. That's probably the only thing. If you are, as I said, a Cavalier and Thronebreaker player looking to get a rank 4 champion, and it's even something that I'll have to say to Em about in a minute. I've completely forgot to kind of like mention to her, like, if you spend 750 units, she can get herself like a rank 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like a 6-star. She could actually get like right from start to right to the end there, which is pretty impressive. Because I don't think she has any rank 4 champions. I probably just cut the video there, but Em came into the office and I had to just explain that this deal is actually really good. This is one of the ones I do recommend. If you are close to forming a tier 6 class catalyst and desperate for that for whatever reason, I don't know, doing a rank 5, then that may be something you're interested in grabbing. There are some good. There's further good ones there. Like, I'm sorry, I'm just talking about Thronebreaker and Thronebreaker and Cavalier players, but there are just some really kind of like good things on offer for them that I don't think ever were. I think you were sandwiched into like lower progression deals, which just weren't great. I've also made a mention that from the tier 2 perspective, you kind of go into a bit of a weird area where you've got, a good deal, again, for like lower players, but if you're a Paragon player looking at those particular deals on tier 2, this may be the only one here, the 10,000 7-star shards, and also the signature stones are probably the only thing there of interest. 5,000 Titan Crystal Shards if you're close to forming. You may want tier 6 class catalysts to make a rank 5 6-star, maybe. Like, it's tough to go. This might actually be the only one, apart from that. These two, B and C, may be the only ones for Paragon. The rest for Thronebreaker and Cavalier players. Again, the Thronebreaker and Cavalier players may even opt for B. I don't know if I mentioned B, but B could be quite good. But you can't go away from the value of rank 5ing straight off the bat, kind of bypassing. It's like, if you're not interested in shard side of things, you can go for the straight up rank ups, and there's some great opportunities there for lower players. As I said, Paragon players, it's tough. It's tough to know what is going to be best for you guys, because a lot of the stuff you're chasing as maybe endgame Paragon players will be lower down. So you're essentially spending 36,000 of your units to get further down these deals in any case. Obviously, from a spending point of view, you do have some good spending deals to a degree. We'll talk about that quickly in a minute. But apart from that, you've got from tier 3 choices. I would say this one here, B, is going to be beneficial to make rank. If you are a Paragon player that's done a good chunk of Spring of Sorrow or Winter of Woe, and you've got to form tier 4 alpha, this could be good, because then you might be spending less units in order to do it, without having to do a Necropolis run or doing a completion of a Necropolis run, depending on where you're at the moment as a Paragon player. You could spend your units way to getting yourself a Valiant, quite possibly, especially if you go down further. You've of course got more rank gem opportunities. This again is so much better for lower progressions than it would be for Paragon, but there are some things you might want to scoop up. Low to Paragon players or new to Paragon players may have the opportunity of getting rank 5 6-stars, which could be beneficial for Battlegrounds. And as well, getting an option of a Titan Crystal is still good. as well as a Nexus can be great as well to kind of add in a new powerful defender or powerful attacker. So there's positives and negatives depending on how you look at it. Then we go down to the more extensive spending deals, and you'll be like, right, well, I can get myself either for the first time Valiant as a Paragon player, or even like, again, this is just ridiculous. If you're thinking a Cavalier Thronebreaker player could be able to get the opportunity to get rank 3 7-stars if they had a lot of units, if that player had a lot of money. Like, that's just mad. Imagine what you be able to do in Battlegrounds, and you'll be able to do in other bits of content. It's just, amazing. But yeah, you've got the option of a 2 to 3 7-star gem, Titan Crystal, 2 to 3 generic gem. If you then go back and spend through, do bear in mind you could do 36,000 units spent in order to get the one on the right. And this is your only opportunity to get a selector, which is slightly disappointing, and it's only of the base pool. There is a Titan Crystal Nexus, which I suppose you could get an option of some of the newer champions that are really good in the game. But again, that's something that's not exactly easy to do. From a recommendation standpoint, depending on the unit spend that you have an opportunity to get, you'd have to spend upwards of 18,000 units and do Spring of Sorrow to get yourself as a Paragon player to Valiant. As somebody that is lower than Paragon, depending on what your ilk and interest is, I would go for a lot of the rank up bundles just to make your roster stronger. Add in new champions if you think it's going to be applicable. But imagine again a Thronebreaker player that has access to 18,000 units that has now just picked up a 2 to 3 7-star gem and a Titan Crystal that could be a really powerful destroyer. What that could do to an Alliance Wars defense, it's crazy, absolutely crazy. I mean, fair play to allow this for players to catch up. This is probably the first time ever I'm saying that lower progressions are getting better deals than ever. That's even from I'll just quickly touch upon. I didn't really want to do any kind of coverage of it because I just don't have the time to cover another progression. But even from a point of view of, well, if you spend 18,000 units, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's a rank 4 to 5 gem for uncollected players, at 18,000 units spend. There's even a rank 3 to 4 there for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6-star. 3 to 4. Kabam are giving out some of these other items quickly. This is really good. It means that, and I recommend this. Why it's so important. I'll probably do a video devoted to it. Why now it's important to farm units, because these deals, if the same cadence follows into Cyber Weekend, lower progressions will get opportunities to catch up. I'll talk about it in another video because I want to go into Valiant Deals. But those have been my top picks for Paragon, Thronebreaker, and Cavalier, depending on where you're up to. There are things there, fantastic options. It just really depends on what you want to do with your roster. But those rank up gems, they're looking quite good for especially Thronebreaker and Cavalier. Paragon, you might want to choose tier 6 class Catalyst, and then of course the tier 4 Alpha, depending on how close you're to forming and how many units deep you want to go in order to get to Valiant. Right, let's do Valiant. Now, if you are Valiant, you've largely, I'm not going to do a big bit of coverage this, because if you're Valiant, you largely know what you're doing with your roster. Some things that I would point out of value is the 7-star side of things, because that's where a lot of Valiant players are. I'm personally, I'm not really rank 5, 6-star person at the moment. I've evolved that interest. This is where tier 6 class Catalyst may come into more of interest. The middle one seems a bit of a waste of time because, well, as a Valiant player, I can get this easy. It's really easy. Even the side quests you can get this stuff. Trader's Outlet, for God's sakes. You've also got this one here, Titan Crystal. If you're close to forming, maybe. I'm not close to forming. Valiant Crystals, again, bleh. So this one right here, the far end C, seems to be the most valuable or interest because you're able to form what you want to get, like tier 6 class Catalyst wise. I probably will get the tier 1 C deal if I was to just scoop up something. In the tier 2 side of things, well, C is a bit of an iffy one because it's a lot of this stuff you can get pretty easily and rank up. The middle one, the 1 to 2 7-star gem is probably interesting, but The Saga specific 7-star, again, is probably that little bit more interesting. And that's the difficulty, isn't it? Just to go like between A and B. C does have some merit to it, but if I was looking to rank up a champion I'm specifically using for a bit of content, I wouldn't spend 3,000 units that way. I'd probably just go that way with it and have a more powerful 7-star. But each to their own with it. I just think A and B are better overall. Then the tier 3 side of things, look, far right, maybe, because that's 2 7-star champions there. Over the left-hand side, that's 1 Titan. So again, you're down to RNG of what you pick up, and you could pick up a dud. Do bear in mind that, Titan pool. 15 Valiant Crystals could see at least 1 7-star from it, but I've been stung like this before. I think a lot of us have, so it's RNG for that one. The middle one, again, interesting because it's got 5 tier 6 class character selectors. I have no idea what the Rainbow 7-star is. It's probably something that I've missed off and it's interesting. Put in the comment section what that one is. But a lot of this stuff is, yeah, they're a thing. Like, they're a thing. Anyway, it's going to be annoying if it turns out that's like a rank 2 to 3, kind of like 2 rank 2 to 3 gems, but then you kind of go like, well, why wouldn't it look like that? Is it that? Is it that? Is it not that? Crystal, whatever. No, it should be that. It should be that. If it's tier 4, it should kind of like resemble like that. And this is the thing about the Valiant Deals that become annoying for me, that there's only 1 7-star selector here. I kind of feel there should be more than that, but again, it's a personal opinion, and this is I mean, it's good that you get this select 1 here and get access, first of all, after 6750 unit spend, 18,000 unit spend total. You can actually get a selector, which is nice, which is a launch pool selector. The annoying thing is about having to spend more units in order to go for 36,000 units to get the 2023 champion selector, which kind of feels a bit meh, because you look at it from last year, like previous years, you'd only have to spend 18,000 units to get access to it. This is why I'm talking about, I talked in my what was it, top 5 tips video, like if you wait, you will be able to get yourself a better deals in Cyber Weekend and those banquet event like ranks, in theory, he says, but we'll have to see. But at least at this point, you've got yourself a Weapon X. Fair play to everybody who wants to spend like nearly $1,200 to get it. It's very excessive, but that is what it is with MCOC. It's kind of a collectible game. Yeah, so this is the stuff here, these tier 4s and tier 8s. I'm just not completely happy with Kabam's structure of it, because it's the same structure they provide for lower progressions, and if they wanted to create any exclusivity, here's the plus and minus. Like, just not to take anything away from like what I'm saying, or kind of take me out of context. It's good that there's no element of kind of like Valiants are able to extend their leap from lower progressions, but at the same time, why make separate deals? Like, put us all together. Like, if that's the case, put us all together. Valiant, Paragon, same deals. Put us all in the same kind of thing, rather than giving us something separate, because then it's like, well, if you give us something separate, you're kind of looking like immediately, well, why aren't we getting, more within, or more spicier things within the lower stuff? Maybe that's something we'll see in Cyber Weekend deals, because there may not be any endgame content on the same level in Necropolis this year, but we'll have to see. Anyway, that's been the video. What are your thoughts on some of the deals? Check out the spreadsheet and the link in the description. I'll see you soon. Have a lovely day, and goodbye.